Today, let's talk about one of my favorite Edsel Ford creations. Now, when I say Edsel Ford, this is probably the first thing that comes to mind. The disaster known as the Edsel Ford. Now, we're not actually talking about this car today because Edsel had nothing to do with this car. It was actually named by Edsel's son, Henry Ford II, after his father, Edsel Ford. Which, in my opinion, was honestly a shame that this car was such a failure after being named after one of the most brilliant engineers and designers at Ford Motor Company. This is Edsel Ford, Henry Ford's son, and one of the best designers to ever grace the floor of Ford Motor Company. So much so that his father absolutely treated him like garbage. Now, many will say that Edsel Ford was treated the way that he was because Henry wanted him to earn it in the same manner that Henry earned his way himself. I don't necessarily buy that. Given the history that I've seen, this is my opinion, I feel that Henry didn't really appreciate the competition. His son was more intelligent than him, his son was a threat to him, and his son was much more capable at running the company and knowing what the consumer wanted than Henry was. Henry lived in fear that he was a one-hit wonder, and it was Edsel that was really getting one hit after another when he was allowed to. Many of the best decisions that the Ford company made were because of the pressure from Edsel Ford. Around 1922, Edsel had finally pressured his father into bringing in a luxury line. One had just come up on the market, and he knew that it was probably the one that his father would bite on. That was Lincoln, currently under the ownership of Henry Leland. Now, Henry Leland was the one that took over the Henry Ford Company and changed that name to Cadillac. So there was already a beef between the two. Henry purchased Lincoln from Leland and put his son, Edsel, in charge of it. As usual, Edsel was wandering around an auto show and noticed a prototype that would change the face of Lincoln forever. That prototype was known as the Scarab Tierde, which had been designed by John Tierde and had been made by Briggs Manufacturing. Edsel, who also had a huge love for aviation and aerodynamics, fell in love with the design immediately. Edsel hired John, and along with the top designers, Eugene Gregory, Bob Cotto, and Edsel got to work on one of the most legendary Lincoln lines there ever was, the Lincoln Zephyr.
Every honeybee thrills with jealousy when they see you out with me.